And welcome to the first ever, the NBA Outback Happy Hour. As you can see, we've already taken quite advantage of that happy hour. Frosty's already on the beers. How are they going down, Frosty?
Very good, mate. The unofficial sponsor of this one and the unofficial sponsor of my life right now.
Absolutely. The emus are all about that Outback. It's a bit of the homage to where we're from, down under. Even though we're mainly going to be talking about NBA basketball. That's generally just, you're pretty useless when it comes to Australian basketball, despite living here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, mate. It's definitely a flaw in the system.
Yeah. So with this potty, how long have you considered it before I started half joking about it the other week? Was it something you've contemplated before, or?
Look, I mean, half the time I come around this house, all we do is sit on that couch over there and talk shit about basketball. So we may as well just film it and record it while we do it to see if anything good comes out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I sort of figured to an extent, especially because I've sort of picked up these skills past couple of years with the True Footy boys. Shout out to True Footy, like, subscribe, all that jazz to them. And then even the other day when they started Cool World, plug in that too. Cool World, get around that too.
Cold world, boy.
Cold World. It's a cold world. Like and subscribe that also. But yeah, seeing all the recent progress in that front motivated me as well. And then plus, I half joked to you because I knew if I was ever going to do a basketball sort of thing, you'd be the one I'd do.
Oh, mate,
I knew it was you.
No one else. We go back and forth on numerous things, mate.
Yeah, I just know exactly how to devil's advocate the perfect way to piss you off.
You son of a bitch.
But yeah, that's enough of a teaser introduction for everyone. We may as well jump into the theme of this first ever podcast. We've just had the bubble and we're about to start the play-ins/playoffs, but we've got to deal with the play-ins, but realistically...
It's only one play-in, let's be honest. Yeah.
Realistically, Portland have got that.
Which is, pretty much done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah. We may as well start in the East, I guess, and go through those matchups.
My favourite.
Yep, you're an East man. Well, I forgot to mention you're a Miami Heat fan.
Yep, since 2003, baby. Dwayne Wade.
D-Wade, loyal man.
Sorted me out.
Pat Riley didn't sort him out in 2016, though, did he?
No, he did not. Sorry, he came back, though. Left the key under the mat.
Yep, brought him back after Cleveland didn't look like they were winning a chip, even with him there.
All right, mate, we're off topic here. You don't want to get me started. Let's...
Yeah, fair enough. All right, we'll get into it. We'll go the first matchup, 1 versus 8. We'll go Bucks versus Magic. This one's pretty straightforward. What are your thoughts?
I think this is going to be a straight sweep, personally. I mean, especially the injury to Jonathan Isaac. He's really the only player that physically, lengthwise, foot speed can match up with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There's a handful of those guys, and Isaac's one of them.
Yeah, Isaac's done. I mean, he went down. Rough injury. It is what it is. But, who's left? Where's Awandu?
Who?
Yeah. My exact point.
Is he a replacement player, or is he...
No, he's not bad, actually. He's a nice young player. He's probably averaging about 10 a game this year.
One of the many young centres they have on their team.
No, he's not even a centre, he's a forward.
Oh, fair
But I just think, even if they want to play small, you've still got Vucevic as their star player. And it's if Bucks want to play small, they're just going to bring Vucevic straight out the paint. He cannot keep up with Giannis. I expect Giannis to average about 28 and 15 in 30 minutes because they're just going to blow him out every game.
Yeah, Giannis is just certainly a level above anyone else on the court in that game on both ends of the court.
It might be a gentleman's sweep. Orlando might pull one game just from hot shooting from players like Terrence Ross, etc. You never know what you're going to get from those guys.
Markelle might find that jump shot in the
finals, mate. College form, Markelle. You know I love college Markelle, mate.
Absolutely.
But so I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm pretty pedestrian on it myself. Orlando sort of got in almost by default, considering it's the East. The only team sort of close enough for them was Washington to come in the bubble, and realistically there was no point in putting Washington in that bubble other than for a laugh. Yeah, well,
Brad Beal pretty much checked out of the bubble, he didn't really want one in of it anyway.
Yeah, don't blame him. They were how many games back? 9 or something ridiculous. They had to do pretty much a Phoenix just to get a play in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially with Isaac down, they're cooked.
Turn that one on silent.
Fair enough. We'll get caught on that one at some stage, don't you worry.
Yeah, but like I said, sorry Beery, mate, but
poor Beery.
But Orlando's probably going home in 4.
Yeah.
But
still, Beery's a bit like us Dockers fans in the sense where he just loves sort of that languishing and mediocrity.
Yeah, mate, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I don't know what would be funnier, Jesse on this or you on the footy one. Who'd be more less knowledgeable.
Could be a thought for a later episode, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Swap roles.
Yep, could be the 12 beers deep episode we've contemplated as well.
I do love 12 beers deep, mate.
Bloody oath. Speaking of 12 beers deep, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are probably at home enjoying themselves, having a few beers, watching the Raptors and Nets series coming up. What are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, look, not only are those two, but even their next best players. You've got Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan. Who else? I mean, Karis LeVert's taking a big step. He played a real good last game.
Yeah, he was
37?
back away from burying Dame Lillard.
Yeah, 37 points or something.
Yeah, big boy game. He was really beasting their smaller guards in the paint because he's got a bit of extra length on like Gary Trent Jr., Lillard.
Hey, Gary Trent Jr.'s been playing fucking...
Yeah, I love Gary.
He's been training real well.
He's very good, even defensively. It's just just a bit long.
The resurgence, mate, the resurgence. But again, I see this pretty much as a...
Yeah.
Excuse me, as a probably a sweep again.
Yeah.
2 versus 7. I can see Brooklyn you might get a 40-point game from Karis LeVert somehow. He's had a 50-point game. He had 37 last. Might just thrive. Might be a gentleman's sweep, but I'm probably predicting a 4-0.
Yeah, Jacques Vaughn might try and want to get a win before he's like, because he's coaching, his future's not secure. He might want to show
exactly.
how
I forgot about that one.
He is, so they might pull one out of their ass.
They're not going to try and lose. They're definitely trying to win.
They're there to play,
it's not. Yeah. They're definitely there to play, but Toronto just playoff experience, like even all year.
Coached.
All year they've shown, like, I personally at the start of the year thought they weren't going to be anything. I think everyone wrote them off, and then Pascal Siakam took like a star leap, and then Fred VanVleet was a borderline all-star. Kyle Lowry just fits the glove perfectly in terms of like he's happy. He's the perfect sort of secondary star, like doesn't need the ball. He just does what he does and still produces.
I bet a few contenders are spewing that Toronto have done this well because they're probably eyeing off Kyle Lowry in the last couple of years at the deal to being that nice extra piece.
I know my boys were to an extent, but you know I'm happy with what we got.
What was he like your third choice behind like Beal and who was the other?
No, mate. We've been connected to every star 2 guard the NBA has to offer. Don't you worry about that.
Yep, that's for sure.
But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, I think Toronto's just got the experience and like
well versed, well coached.
Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. Like I think that's a lock personally.
Did you see the coaches' choices for the?
Yeah, it was Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan and Budenholzer were co.
And Budenholzer again. I don't
Coaches Association.
Like what Nick Nurse has done with that team, like without Kawhi. Like, I mean, you got to speak to the player developmental staff as well. Like. The leaps they've taken, like Fred VanVleet,
even
Pascal,
Chris
Boucher, OG Anunoby's turned from like sort of a fringe role player to a full-on starter, like best defender on the court, can chip in a 3. Like
he's hitting the 3 at not a bad clip.
That's what I mean. Like he's turning into a nice 3-and-D player with a lot more upside. But like his defense is out of this world right now. Like they have the second best defense in the whole league behind Milwaukee,
like
and like Milwaukee's statistical defense is just like all-time great.
Yeah.
Point differential or something, they're right up there.
Oh yeah, what you mean Milwaukee in the
point differential, it's something fucked. But
they just run people off the court.
Brooklyn are gone. Next year, Brooklyn are coming. Like don't doubt it. If Kevin Durant comes back 80% healthy.
Yeah. This year was pretty much find some role players to get around those boys sort of.
Kyrie sort of checked out. We'll see how Kyrie goes, playing second fiddle again.
Yeah, but I don't know how he'll go with that. He's bit of a divisive personality.
He's a bit how he is. But yeah, it's over. Yeah. It's those 2 games. The East is pretty much. Yeah. There's only one exciting series. Yeah. Which is the Boston Philly.
Yeah,
all right, we'll move into Boston Philly. All right, so Boston Philly. What are your thoughts on Boston Philly, mate?
Well, if Ben Simmons was playing, it'd be a lot more interesting. But at the same time, Philly in some ways can probably exploit Boston more without him, I think, because they'll have more shooting around Embiid, just feed Embiid in the post against like a smaller Daniel Tice, Enes Kanter. Both those guys can't contain Embiid in the paint. Even Horford could sub in for Embiid and probably barbecue chicken those 2.
Barbecue chicken.
That's
alert, mate. That's an alert.
Yep.
But I'm completely with you. Like, so. This for me, like I'm not a personal fan of Embiid. I've never been a big fan. I was big fan of his antics in college and everything, like his Rihanna tweets, like Twitter and everything. But like you sort of think people got to mature out of that, especially when you're at like the level he is. His talent is out of this world. Like besides injuries, he can be the best big man. I think this is the series that he's got to show it.
Yeah, he definitely
Like,
has to.
I don't want to see him make a hook shot, shimmy down the court, or like do an aeroplane or something. This is like, I want to see him locked in, not celebrating, demanding the ball. Like, I want him to average like 30 and 15. They may not win the series, but if he can stay healthy and do that, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a really big confidence booster for Philly. Like, it's still a minor win considering they're missing like probably one of the best defenders in the NBA, a walking triple double, 17, 8 and 8 sometimes, like
everything except shooting.
Yeah, everything except shooting. But like, this is Embiid's series, especially with Daniel Tice and Enes Kanter as the backup big, because like Boston's bench, they've got no one that can defend Embiid. Really, the bench is really like weak as well. Anyway, they play Grant Williams, a rookie, who's Wanamaker. Okay. But all the depth coming off, there's no big man in there besides Enes Kanter, but he's not a defender. Everyone knows that. He's a one-way player. And basically all their strengths at the wings. So
a lot of strength.
A lot of strength. When I say all their strength, I mean all 100% of it. But like,
well, Kemba point, but yeah.
As if Kemba's fully healthy by that time. Like, we don't even know what Kemba's knee's doing.
Yeah.
But Philly sort of had the personnel to do that. They got a nice two-way wing in Josh Richardson, Miami Heat product.
You're all mate.
Miami Heat product, shout out.
You always used to ramble on about old Joshy boy.
Mate, I still will.
Yeah, love yourself some Josh, that pick 40.
But mate, pick 40 turned into, he dropped 36, 34 the other day or something for Philly.
I didn't see it.
Well, you should look it up.
Bloody oath.
You know Josh.
You'll show me the highlights after this podcast,
I'm
sure.
Yeah, it's coming.
Definitely.
But they've got like very nice rookie Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah,
real nice find. Like, I mean, I don't think Matisse has the length to stop a Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, but I think Josh Richardson's more equipped. But in the end, it's
those
just...
Those two will do as good a job as anyone.
Yeah, like, that's all you can sort of wish for. Like, you've got two of the best young wings in the game. Like, I was very skeptical on Jason Tatum. Everyone knows I was well, not everyone, but just you. But
well, Darty probably copped it a bit.
Yeah, everyone knows I was not for it. Everyone was saying, he's this, he's that, and I was like, he averages 16 a game. Let's calm down. Like, and then obviously he started off the year a bit slow, and I was licking my lips, smiling. I was licking my lips. I was lapping it up. But and then after the All-Star break, he shut me up, and I'm happy to admit that. Like, he's
always had that talent. It's just he's had to tangibly show up.
Exactly.
You knew it was there, you just had to show it. Probably.
But yeah, I think if Embiid locks in and plays like a dominant center without the distractions, just demands the ball, goes for 30, 15, like 5 assists, few blocks. If he can stay healthy, of course, because the last couple of games, like, hurt his wrist, turned his ankle a bit, like, you don't know what's going to happen.
That's the biggest.
But I think that can go, if Joel's engaged, that could almost go 7 games.
Yeah.
I think Boston are going to win just to the talent that they have, the coaching, Brad Stevens. I'm not a big fan of Brett Brown, personally. I think especially if they lose this, I think Brett Brown's gone next year regardless.
With Ben gone, it's harsh, but
still, but I still think...
I kind of get the point, though, yeah.
I think Brett Brown's gone next year, regardless. I was going to say, that's your first sort of thing. There's a lot of talk about dismantling the two of them, but I think you just got to move on from Brett Brown first, try another coach. I don't know. Yeah. I know you've been wanting your boy Mark Jackson to get back involved.
Oh, baby. I wanted him for that Knicks gig.
Yeah, that's true, but no one wants the Knicks gig, mate.
Yeah. Except Tibbs.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Julius Randle's going to be playing 40 minutes and lose all those extra kegs.
Yeah, mate, that's how he does it, mate. That's how he does it. But I think 6 games probably more realistic in Boston's favour, because I can see Embiid sort of fatiguing a bit. Maybe an injury catches up with him, turns his ankle, hurts his wrist again. But I would be curious to see that match. I think Embiid's going to dominate, but I think the Celtics just have too much coaching, talent, and they're just going to overwhelm them.
So Embiid best player, Celtics win those.
I think Embiid's the best player in the series, for sure. Like, even...
Most valuable? Will he be the most valuable? Even though his team loses? Would he be more valuable than a Tatum or whatever contributes to the Boston?
I think with Philly's lineup at the moment, he's the most valuable, because he's the only guy on there that you can sort of dump the ball down and go...
Get a bucket.
back down, and then even just off-ball movement around, find shooters. Like, they put Shake Milton into the starting lineup. You got Josh Richardson, who's not shooting as well as he usually does, but then Matisse Thybulle's not bad shooter.
Furkan.
You got, Furkan coming in, Korkmaz, and look, but I think Embiid, for what they've got, he's the most valuable player in this series.
Yeah, fair.
I expect big numbers, but like I said, talent overwhelming.
Yeah, Boston, all those draft picks, Danny's hoarding.
Not trading
anything for anyone.
He messed up that way.
Yeah, he probably held on a bit too long to his
because they're all guaranteed contracts, man. So they're guaranteed roster spots unless you send them overseas and stuff like that. But yeah, he needed the cash in. But it is what it is. They'll make moves. They're good franchise and everything.
Yeah, he's shrewd and they're not afraid to spend the cash, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that leads us to the big matchup of the East, the one you're anticipating.
Let me just crack this top in memorabilia for the series of the East right now.
That cracked very nicely on the audio. That'll sound crisp. That was beautiful.
It's all EMU export, mate. That's all it does.
Fucking know.
But
Jimbo versus TJ.
You don't have.
Indy got yours today. Actually, I saw.
Come on. We rested Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson played 14 minutes, Goran Dragic was out. We played Chris Silva.
Oh, big Chris.
Solomon Hill got on the court, man. Solomon shout out Solomon Hill, man. He's playing all right.
He's a rotation player in the NBA, Solomon Hill.
He's, but not in our rotation. Not in Miami, baby. Not in Miami. But Derek Jones Jr. went out in the stretch. I think he'll be all right. Yeah. But not ideal to see. Yeah, not ideal to see.
Definitely traumatic.
But personally, I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I think everyone will agree this is going to be the matchup of the East. Like the 4-5, the previous scuffle between Jimmy and TJ Warren.
Especially TJ's form in the bubble, that adds to the narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'd say he's been player of the bubble, but then Damian Lillard definitely hard to quite.
TJ sort of slowed down the last couple of games. As soon as Miami figured him out, just saying. Just saying.
So
but
got it for him?
Sorry?
So has Jimbo got up in him?
Yeah, Jimbo's in his head, mate. Rent free.
He's dribbling basketballs over the top of his hotel room.
Legit, keeping him up. Yeah. Keeping him up, mate. But this is, to me, the series of the East. I think, like I said, everyone probably going to say that.
Yeah, definitely.
But just the continued antics. There wasn't, in the third game between them, there wasn't any physical antics going on, but then after the game, obviously, Jimmy had a really good stat line that game. Didn't shoot too well, but got to the line a lot. TJ Warren was sort of like not impactful. If TJ Warren can't score,
he can't.
Yeah, like he doesn't impact the game greatly. Like he's a fucking good player. Yeah. Like there's no doubt about it. But just if he's not scoring, he's not impacting at a very high level. I mean, Indiana fans might come at me for that, but I don't know. It's just what I believe. But they held him to 5 for 14, I think it was, 14 points, whereas Jimmy had like 19, 10, 5 assists, 4 steals. Was just impacting every possession with his will, mate, sheer will. But yeah, I do love Jimbo. But yeah, so there'll just be that backdrop of the story and whatnot. But I expected to get physical in a 7-game series. I've heard lots of talk in a few inside podcasts that I watched that people around Jimmy say, wait for him to get to the playoffs. Just wait for him to get in the playoffs where he can single in on one team. Like, everyone knows Jimmy's a different sort of cat, like, mentally.
Yeah.
Like, he's just that guy. Like, you just don't know what he's going to do. And, like, everyone around Jimmy apparently has just been saying, just wait for the playoffs. Wait for him to get into a 7-game series with one team, especially one that he doesn't like in Indiana. And I expect him to have a big series.
Who else do you think will contribute besides those two to the series? Because those two are probably obviously the headline.
Yeah, I mean...
Or the other main contributors, like Bam, obviously, for the Heat.
Bam hasn't been doing as well as I hoped. Like, he's not very aggressive sometimes, and I'm a big Bam proponent. When he was drafted, I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, yeah, you've got the footage, don't worry about it.
Probably put that up on the gram as a bit of a teaser for this, I guess.
Yeah, lovely. You can see my reaction. But, yeah, just with Domantas Sabonis out, Miles Turner in, Indiana have completely changed their play style. They play very fast, up and down, but they're very prone to getting beaten on the boards. I think
Miles Turner's lost that ability to really
Miles,
get down with Sabonis.
Yeah, Miles Turner's sort of there, stretch three, get up and down the court really well, but I think Bam's just a big physical presence, and then the way Kelly Olynyk's been playing, like he's not a big board getter, but just versatile, like our two versatile bigs against that. But I think I'm very biased. This is probably more you on this subject, but I think Miami's probably going to win in 5, 6 max.
Yeah, I'd give it to Miami.
I think.
If Oladipo was healthy and relevant and Sabonis, it'd definitely that'd be a big boy.
I agree. Like I think that would go 7 either way. If Victor Oladipo was 100%, but I hear he's too busy fraternizing with the Heat for 2021.
Oh yeah,
I hear he's
the other day after the game. Apparently, Indiana had all stormed off the court, and Vic was just chilling.
Vic's out there. Vic went out of his way from half court to help Jimmy Butler up off the floor after a hard foul.
Wholesome. And
it was very beautiful to watch. And then they've got blown out, obviously, 20 points, whatever it was. But the whole team's left the floor, especially like TJ's beef with Jimmy. If I'm like, I know personally, if someone's got a beef with someone, and it's like a hard game and it's like a team, and you go over and like you're fraternizing with that dude, if I'm on that team and I'm seeing you fraternize with my quote unquote enemy, I'm not gonna be a big fan of that. Like,
definitely not.
Like you'd be like, what are you doing? Like you're on my team. Like we've got something going on. Like
after the battle or whatever. Maybe
that's what I mean.
For sure.
But back on topic. Steered off a bit there. I was thinking a bit into the future.
Already counting the victory?
Yeah, already. I mean, Victor is a special player when healthy, but he just hasn't looked himself for the whole year. Like, when you didn't even know if he was playing in the bubble or not. Like, Coach Nate McMillan found out when everyone else did, so he's obviously not on check with his coach. Like, you think they'd be the first to know, but he came out in public in a press conference and said, yeah, I found out when everyone else did. Like, so there's obviously a bit of discontent there between the two of them, but it is what it is.
Wonder where that's coming from, because Vic was having playing his career best basketball in Indiana.
He was, but then tore the old quadricep tendon, mate. Comes on you. You know how it is. Like Gordon Hayward's sort of just rounding into form now, but I don't think he's ever going to be the same player. I mean, he's used differently in Boston because it's like the third option wing, but he's still like, you just sort of watch him. His difference from Utah to Indiana to Celtics is just a bit different. But I think the way the Heat supporting cast have come up as well. The shooters, mate, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Oh, mate.
They've been balling out the bubble. I'm telling you.
Of course, those are the two you resonate with, the skinny white boys that hang out at the 3-point line all day.
Yep. Well, can't blame me, mate. Can't blame me. But,
what even is the paint?
Oh, who knows? No, Duncan cuts to the paint, man. What are you talking about?
He just cuts so he can run through to the other side, to the other side of the 3-point line.
Yeah, right.
Smash.
But all jokes aside, those two, like, rounding into form for the playoffs. I think Tyler Hero, besides the game that was just played yesterday, this morning for us, and yesterday afternoon for the US, he was averaging 23, 6 and 5, shooting about 50%, 39 from 3 and 100 from the free throw line. Like, compared to his regular season statistics, like, I've watched, like, Busher knows I've watched every Miami Heat game I can. Like, I can get to, whether it's 1 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Like, I'm there watching it when I can.
Yeah.
And his growth, like, he looks like a completely different player. Like, this is like his second year. And same with Duncan Robinson. Like, Duncan's turning more from a specialist to an actual player. Like, he's making big reads. So, like, obviously, when you shoot 45% from downtown, you're getting honed in on. Yeah, like, you're getting honed in. He's getting doubled. He's getting blitzed off.
Chris Paul's throwing balls at your head.
Yeah. You're getting blitzed off of down picks and everything. And he's making reads now where he sees that and he cuts to the basket. And even if he doesn't get the ball, when you've got other shooters out there like Tyler Hero and stuff, and they're so focused on it, he makes a cut down. 3 people are looking at him. And that leaves other people wide open. If Bam's the one dribble handoff, if it's Kelly can step back, shoot a 3. Bam could drive to the rim. Like, it's just, the spacing's ridiculous, and he's just making these reads, and it's just really impressive to see, and I'm very excited.
I can see that.
Very excited. But, yeah, I mean, you know what I predict, but what are your thoughts on it?
Well, yeah, I'd probably give it to the Heat for sure. Probably similar sort of parameter to you. 5, I'd probably go closer to 5 and 6 myself, considering where Indiana's at health-wise.
Yeah.
Even Brogdon sort of coming back in off some issues to an extent.
Yeah, I completely forgot about, I get caught up in the Heat, man. I forget the Pacers at all.
Yeah, because I saw he was their best on ground the other day, Malcolm Brogdon. He's back, and he's sort of been easing back in because he was having issues as well, I believe.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so they're not geared up to really do everything they're capable of. Indiana, so it would probably be 5, I reckon. I'll give them the win, one win somewhere. Just off
it's going to happen. They're two pretty evenly matched teams when healthy, but it's just India sort of just not at that level right now.
Yeah, definitely not. Indian basketball team's definitely not on the level of Miami basketball.
Stop it. Stop it. Pat Riley we trust, mate. Pat Riley we trust.
Oh, I thought, because you said India, I said Indian basketball.
No, I don't know. India? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Because you said India.
Indiana.
Yeah. Because we did have the question, most exciting matchup of the first round for me, but we've touched on it.
I think we've touched that. Everyone's tuning in. That if you're watching Eastern Conference basketball, everyone's tuning into the Heat Pacers. I think that's pretty guaranteed. That's the best matchup so far. But moving on west.
Yeah.
Moving out west.
Take it out west to try and wrap a bit of Travis Scott there and butcher it spectacularly.
White people rapping on podcasts.
Absolutely. That's what we should have called this thing. But anyway, we got the Lakers, who will be either playing Memphis or Portland, most likely Portland. We might as well give the play-in a little bit of lip service just to show Memphis a bit of love.
I mean, you want to start on me?
I'll say going into the year, no one expected anything near this from Memphis. So the fact they've even gotten to this point is quite impressive, even though if the season had played out as normal, it might have been different, obviously. But the fact under the circumstances they've got themselves to this point, even with Jaren Jackson going out about halfway through the bubble.
That hurts.
Phoenix charging hard. The fact they've held on is pretty impressive from their end, but realistically, Portland, the only reason they weren't comfortably the 6th above seed is because Nurkic was out. They have other issues.
Exactly.
So yeah, realistically, it'll be Lakers versus Portland, but. Yeah, any thoughts on Memphis before we get into that?
I mean, look, I jumped on the Ja Morant bandwagon as soon as he started his sophomore season in college. I found a highlight video and I went, oh my god, this guy's going to be a generational talent. You remember, I told everyone, when he was projected to be 28th pick in the draft, I believe, on NBADraft.com or .net, whatever it is. I was like, no, this guy is a generational talent. You watched him play in college, he was Russell Westbrook athleticism with the IQ of Chris Paul. It's just ridiculous, and I think he definitely showed it in his first year in the NBA.
Yeah, he doesn't get Rookie of the Year.
No, you know he is. You know he is.
There'll be idiots in the media that vote for Zion. You know
that's simply because Zion makes one pass and gets shown on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
We all know around the back pass, and everyone goes, "Whoa!" It's I've seen you make that pass before, mate.
I've made some nice passes. My best attribute.
All right, you say so, but definitely, I think Ja's looking to have a big series. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder. Even when the schedule came out, they pretty much tried to gift New Orleans the 8th seed just for money reasons. Obviously, it's business, but he he definitely took that personally. Even obviously Andre Iguodala, who's now a member of the Miami Heat, when he wasn't playing and stuff, there was big bit of Twitter beef going on then. Steph Curry chimed in. Steph Curry is one of the face of the NBA, best shooter of all time, obviously. Yeah. I know how you feel about that. And no chill against that. He just went for it. He was calling him out on Twitter. He doesn't care. But
I do love that.
He's a nice two-way player, but he can only do so much without his running star in Jaren Jackson Jr.,
Jaren Jackson Jr. is probably not quite there yet. He's building to it.
He's building.
He's building, but he's not there yet.
The way Dame's been playing and just the whole pieces, Melo, Dame, Gary Trent Jr. turning into
Melo's
a two-way.
That's how
Melo's bought into his role, and CJ's been struggling, but I looked for CJ to bounce back. He's sort of been here.
Fractured back or something. I saw a post or something saying he's been playing with a fractured back.
Is that just a put out there for excuses, or is that a legitimate thing?
I saw it somewhere on Instagram or something. So I don't know if it's but I remember.
I feel like a fractured back, you wouldn't be able to move properly.
Something weird. I'll Google it.
But I think everyone sort of agrees that Portland are going to win. All they have to do is win one game. And
Yeah.
Dame's probably going to drop 60 again, let's be honest. Who knows what he's going to do? He might drop 100 the way he's been playing. But I think just the star power, Nurkic, Zach Collins back in the lineup, Gary Trent Jr., a two-way player now, making big shots down the stretch.
Even Hassan Whiteside buying into being up.
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside buying.
I'm sure you were surprised.
I'm very surprised. Yeah, that was all right.
And according to a couple of Yahoo Sports here, CJ McCollum has been playing through fractured lower back. CJ McCollum suffered back injury in first NBA restart game versus Memphis, apparently.
All right, well, yeah,
so,
fair enough.
That
but
probably explains where he's at.
If he doesn't bounce back, talent-wise, they're still way better than Memphis. Like, just at the moment, like Memphis young core, like they're onto something
Dylan
special.
Brooks isn't
like
a bad player.
Dylan Brooks is nice,
Dylan Brooks.
but he's just that second star is Jaren Jackson Jr. or star to be kind of thing, whatever you want to call him. But Dame's been here before. He's played the whole season. He's out to win.
Dame he's dance many times.
Yeah, Dame Dollar, baby, Dame Dollar.
Fucking oath.
But
how do we think Dame Dollar is going to go against the number one? Say the big boys, the king.
I think this is the most exciting, probably. I mean, with the injury to Westbrook, right now we don't know if he's going to play, but I think this might be the most exciting series of the West right now. Lakers versus Portland, number 8. If it goes through.
Barring Westbrook playing, definitely.
Yeah, barring Westbrook playing, I think definitely. But I think no one's going to stop Anthony Davis for Portland. Like, Hassan Whiteside, even if you plug him in, he's not a great one-on-one defender. Great team defender, great just guy at length. Like Rudy Gobert, great to have in there. Not as good as Rudy Gobert.
I'd say he's not. He chases blocks.
He chases blocks. But no one's stopping Anthony Davis. Nurkic, no. Zach Collins, no. Like, it's just not happening. But the thing I do worry about for the Lakers is the loss of Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo. Like, defensively, who's going to stop Dame and
LeBron or Danny Green? Probably.
I think Danny Green, but Danny Green's age, and I don't think he can contain Dame Lillard for a whole series.
No,
limit, limit. Because I think it's definitely going to be a tough, but in the end, I think LeBron James, playoff Bron, everyone, LeBron's probably the most hated player in the NBA for some,
loved and hated. He's on both ends of that scale, I feel.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
People either hate him, but everyone knows playoff LeBron is different. He's earned that reputation where he hasn't been playing well in the bubble. Everyone knows that, but I think everyone can just assume he's going to flip the switch come playoff time.
He's only in a one-bedroom suite, I assume, or something at Disneyland rather than his big LA mansion. It's probably a bit of an adjustment.
Never know, mate. The NBA one hooked him up.
Yeah, surely he's at the bloody Mickey Mouse penthouse.
Savannah and Bronny are already there, mate. Savannah. Yeah, they're around.
They've got the tunnel.
All making family TikToks, man. They're on. But like I said, Portland don't have anyone to stop LeBron or Anthony Davis. I even feel LeBron's going to defer to Anthony Davis a lot in this series. I reckon Anthony's going to have a big series because obviously LeBron's the highest IQ basketball player of all time. That's my opinion, but
he has the tools to show that IQ.
He has
any other player in history, to be fair, as well.
Yeah. Because everyone's a lot more in-depth analysis and everything into what everyone does, social media, etc. But Anthony Davis is just going to get his back on the block, take him out in the perimeter. Nurkic, Zach Collins, not going to be ready for it. I can guarantee that. But I think the Lakers have been here before. But this is a series I think that could go 7 games, depending how CJ bounces back. if Melo's still playing hot.
Melo's been pretty clutch for him, really.
Yeah, and Dame obviously putting up otherworldly numbers, like bubble MVP Dame. Yeah. Bubble MVP Dame. But that's what I mean. It also has the potential to be a 5-game series or a 7-game, depending on those factors. But I think it might go 6. That's my personal prediction, with the Lakers obviously winning in 6.
Yeah, I could say Portland definitely getting a couple myself.
Yeah.
They'll definitely get at least one just off Dame.
Couple of Dame signature games, man. It's going to happen.
Yeah, bloody oath, for sure. We may as well slip into the 2v7, the Clippers and the Mavs. I think this could be... It's probably slipping under the radar compared to some other series, but I think it still could be quite a good little series.
Kristaps Porzingis playing like an all-bubble team.
We were having that conversation the other day where we were trying to figure out our all-bubble team. We were trying to figure out the bigs, and Porzingis was one of the first names.
Yeah, he's averaging about 30 in the bubble, isn't he?
And rebounds.
He's another guy who's 2 years away from his injury, that hiatus, and you can definitely tell, throughout the season, what was he averaging, 20 and 10? Not bad numbers at all.
He was cruising, though.
But, Porzingis from like possible MVP candidate in New York, obviously for the future, not in New York. Once they had a team, but you could see the potential there. And now that he's with Dallas, with Luka and everything, there's a lot of star power in there. A big future, obviously.
And they've got money to spend as well, don't they?
Yeah, Mark Cuban's always fucking doshing out, man.
I love Cuban as an owner.
I know you do, mate. I know you do. But, yeah, I think that's going to be a very high-scoring series. But, because obviously the Mavericks, historically great offense. Yep. Was number one offense this year. So. Maybe all-time great. But I think...
Carlisle is a very, very good coach.
Yeah, very underrated.
Yeah.
In terms of just consistency, doing stuff, he's never mentioned in the top coaches of the league just because they just fly under the radar all the time. But he's there. He's there.
He's definitely in that conversation. I've highly rated Rick Carlisle. But how do you see this one playing out?
I think the Clippers are obviously going to get it. The only thing because just the defensive, like, what are you going to do? Pat Bev's going to do his antics. I don't know who Pat Bev's going to play on. Maybe Seth. I don't think you can stick him.
Tim Hardaway. You'd put him on Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway. Because you're not going to stick him on Doncic. Doncic is too big. He's just going to take him down the post. But I think Kawhi locks down Doncic. I mean, Kawhi's not the defender he was in San Antonio, but he's still, like...
Oh, they give him the PG overall.
Yeah, they've got arguably the two best wing defenders in the entire league. And then, like... I think it's going to be very high scoring, so bet on the over on those, because I could see it. But then, Lemon Pepper Lou coming off the bench, mate. Lemon Pepper Lou.
Yeah. Magic City.
And Trez, Magic City wings, mate. He's there for the wings.
Absolutely.
There for the wings. Yeah, I know you would, mate. Voodoo Lounge only does so much for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, because when all this happened, I actually looked into it, and apparently, black strip clubs are more known for their food.
He knows food, but he's a bit of an idiot getting posted. Taking a selfie with Jack Harlow, a very up-and-coming rapper released What's Poppin' as, number one, or not number one, but, known everywhere. Yeah. And it's, gets a selfie with him, tries to claim that it's an old face mask, but it's one that he got in the bubble. And everyone puts two and two together, and it's you've already backtracked now, Lou. I think you've lost your credibility there, mate.
Yeah, he definitely goofed up there. Old Lemon Pep.
But I think, again... The only thing I could see working negatively for the Clippers is the whole year they've just been... Lakers are living rent-free in the Clippers' head the whole year. Look, they've 2 out of 2 matchups, whatever you want to call it, but, they're only focused on the Lakers. They don't care about anyone else because they live in the basement the entire franchise history. And it's I think they might not be focused. They might be thinking of the Lakers, but they got to get through some tough series first. Dallas is no walk in the park.
Yeah, and then the most likely Denver in that second round will be interesting as well, but we'll get to them. We'll get to this a bit longer, I think.
But, it's tough to say. You never know with the health, Kawhi, PG. Is Kawhi load managing in the playoffs? Who knows? Could do.
Kawhi does what Kawhi wants.
Yeah, Kawhi does what Kawhi... Board man gets paid, mate. Board man gets paid. But
who's the best player in this series?
I think you have to give the nod to Kawhi.
Yeah.
I think... Doncic and Porzingis may put up bigger numbers, but in terms of impact on the game, clutch scoring, defensively, playoff basketball, Kawhi is this is what he's been load managing for.
Yeah. He's got that mid-range.
This is what he's been doing. Yeah, this is what he's been doing. And you've got Paul George. Hopefully, playoff.
Paul George has been playing pretty well.
He has, but we all know Paul George is a bit of a notorious playoff choker. The reputation of playoff P.
Yeah.
But
he shouldn't have been chirping that shit to Dame, I know that.
No, you started Dame on the fucking tear, mate. Yeah. Imagine if Dame beats the Lakers number 1 seed and up facing Clippers in the conference finals.
Or Dame buries him.
It's not going to happen, but
I would love that.
I would almost vote for that.
For Portland.
I would almost vote for that.
Portland's my team for now.
He's jumped on it.
Mine are languishing, hoping for that number 1 draft pick.
Oh, you dog. But I mean, I just think the offense of Kawhi, PG, Lemon Pepper Lou, Trez coming off the bench.
Who was the 3 6 men of the year candidates?
The depth of the Clippers is just, and the Mavs notoriously poor defense, and I think the Mavs aren't ready for playoff basketball just yet. Like
it's
their first playoff as a full squad and everything. Like Tim Hardaway's got a bit of playoff experience, if I'm not mistaken, but not too much. He's dipped his toes, bit of a dip in the old swimming pool.
Maybe with the Knicks in those mellow days.
Yeah, but in terms of Luka, I mean Luka's a fantastic MVP candidate, but
he ain't worried about
this
that
is.
either. He can handle it.
Yeah, he can handle it, but this is it's completely different basketball. Kawhi's been there, he's done it. You know, he's a couple of finals MVPs, a couple of championships. I think just the Clippers' experience and the depth is just going to take them. I think it's going to go 6, but there's a lot of 6-game series. I'm picking a lot of 6-game series. Not many sweeps besides the East, but a lot of 6-game series. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you there. Mavs can get there. That realistically, they're probably a star away from being a top shelf contender compared to the
Could
Clippers.
be getting it real soon.
Yeah, they'll probably get one.
2021, they'll have cap space as well.
Yeah, Giannis is probably one that could end up there. I'd say.
Nah.
Team Europe, baby. Team Europe.
All right, mate. All right, continue on. You go on.
All right, we'll slip into a bit of Utah and Denver, I suppose.
I think this is where we could differ. Me and you could differ, but you go ahead, mate.
I'm probably because Utah's health seems a bit iffy for my team. They've been.
So does Denver's though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So does Denver's. Actually, I'm not even sure who's playing for Denver these days. You keep going, mate.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But Denver, I still feel like Jokic is the best player in that series.
Yeah.
He can impact the game in so many different ways compared to a Gobert. Even Donovan Mitchell's still young. He's good. He's figuring it out. But he can't impact the boards like Jokic. Probably can't diamond facilitate like Jokic. And then but Denver's probably still their card. They're used to having that advantage in Denver, being able to run guys off the ground, field and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Denver are missing a few key players as well. I just had a look. It's mainly just Gary Harris, but that's a nice defender for that. That's a two-way player, but they do have a lot of X factors. Yeah. Denver have a lot of X factors.
Variables.
You got Porter Jr. obviously gets raved about in the media. I think he's a bit on the Jason Tatum early scale in terms of.
He's starting to have a couple of good games.
He had a big 30 piece.
Yeah.
You know who else had a 30 piece? Tyler Hero. Yeah, he did off the bench. Just quietly putting it out there.
I'm sure you
but yep. But I think he's a big X factor as well as who was it?
Bol.
Yeah, Bol. But I think. The hype's past, and people have sort of realised it's a bit of a gimmick on there. He could be a great player down, maybe a nice role player, nice starting calibre. But he's just not there yet. I think everyone just loves to.
There's a reason he went pick 44.
Loves the hype train. There's a reason Miami Heat traded him for KZ Okpala, mate.
Oh, KZ.
KZ. But yeah. So what you're expecting Denver to get up on that?
Yeah, I reckon Denver get through probably 6. I think Utah have got enough to probably pluck a couple of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
See, I don't know where to go on this one.
It's a tough one. Sure. It's definitely tough.
Because you don't know, Donovan. You don't know if that's still lingering with Rudy Gobert in terms of he hasn't been playing very well in the bubble either. He's shooting about 38%.
Who, Donovan?
Yeah, Donovan in the bubble, and Rudy Gobert is Rudy Gobert. It's he's not going to drop 30. He's not going to drop 30 or anything, but he's going to be there, impact the game defensively. You get into the paint and you see Rudy Gobert, your shot's altered. Even if he doesn't get the block, you're thinking about it.
For sure.
And I mean, you've got the Jingler down under Durant.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the Jingler down under Durant. But I don't think he's playing to a great shot. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He's very hot and cold.
Very hot and cold.
The last couple of years in general, he's been very hot and cold. I'd say he'll have that hot patch where he's shooting 45% from deep. Really been able to get that opportunity to dribble and facilitate like he can.
Yeah.
Conley coming there is shooking up his play style for that team as well.
Exactly, because has Conley kicked into gear yet? I don't watch a lot of Utah basketball.
From what I've seen throughout the year, I haven't observed too ridiculously. He'll have a few good games disappear, figure it out. He had a bit of an injury in the middle of the year, I think.
Because I feel just like you said, I agree. Jokic is probably the best player in the series. I'm not sure because it works with Rudy Gobert quite well. I think Utah is going to try and put Rudy Gobert in the pick and not Jokic in the pick and roll a lot.
Oh yeah.
So if Jokic is guarding Rudy or vice versa, That's definitely explosive. I'm Donovan Mitchell. I'm going every time 45 pick and roll and just putting Jokic in it, put him in the blender. You're Donovan Mitchell. You can either get into the rack or throwing lobs or kicking out the shooters. Like, that's basic basketball. Like, it's NBA basketball.
Playoffs even.
Yeah, it's like slows down, half-court offenses. But that's the matchup I'm probably looking to exploit because everyone knows, I mean, Jokic, great player.
Defensive.
Not a great defender.
Not a liability, but not
whereas
an asset.
Rudy on Jokic, he's not... I don't think he's going to beat him... Yeah, he's not going to beat him foot speed wise. I think he's more crafty than like athletic. I think you just got to watch for his drawing fouls. Probably, I think you just got to crowd him to stop his passing lanes. But I think that's more on the other Utah defenders.
Yeah, like
so Royce O'Neal, Donovan. Hard, just making sure you're staying home on cuts, etc. On shooters, especially because you sort of like offensively, you don't mind if Jokic beats you with 30 points. As long as you stop his passing and his activity, I think that's the main thing, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that like something...
I'd agree with that. If you're wanting to kill Denver, you just let him shoot.
Especially without Gary Harris. Like, Jamal Murray's... We haven't even touched on Jamal Murray. He's back. He's been playing pretty well in the bubble.
Yeah, he's a solid player. Like.
See, it's very... They're very...
a streaky shooter.
They're very comparable teams. Like, obviously Jamal Murray is not the level Donovan Mitchell, but they both have... They're big and they're guard. They're combo guard. Yeah, they're combo guard.
More scoring than facilitating.
Exactly. Like, Jamal's obviously, I don't think he's on Donovan's level.
No.
But
I've never been a huge Jamal Murray person, to be fair. I reckon he's just a bit of a chucker.
Yeah, he's a bit of a chucker, but that's what I mean. It's a very comparable game size, which is why I think it could go either way. But I think Denver's experience and the possible just lingering corona beef between Donovan, Rudy Gobert, and like Donovan just hasn't looked happy in the bubble. Like I've heard reports off Bleacher Report, etc., that he's just not himself. And just a lot of he's been hanging out. He's another one who's been hanging out with the Miami Heat a fair bit in the old hotel.
What are you flipping for him up?
Nothing. Kendrick, nothing. No, but, just saying, like, another guy who's sort of seen fraternizing with, he's mentally checked out. Yeah. I don't know, maybe not just the Miami Heat, maybe he's just having a chat. Like, I know there was talks between what they want to do in the future, but I just don't think a core of Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert is going to get you past the second round.
No, definitely not.
I think Denver's core
if they're your second and third best player and you bring in a player that's better, game on. But them as your tag team, like... In terms of tag teams around the league, you've got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and you're like, Kawhi, Paul George. It's like, then you sort of look at... then you look, it's like Donovan, Gobert. It's like, especially with Rudy Gobert's age right now, and it's sort of like, one-dimensionality.
But so, I probably, after talking about it, I was leaning more Utah when I started, but you've talked me into Denver now. I think it could be a 7 game.
Yeah,
could be a 7.
It'll be very competitive.
It could be a 7, but Utah will probably get it in 6. I think. Sorry, not Utah. Denver get it in 6. I think just the experience.
And they've had a couple of almost
the depth too. Paul Millsap. Completely forgot about Paul Millsap.
Yeah, he's a handyman off the bench.
Yeah, he's not bad. I thought he started.
Even Plumlee, he's a handy backup center.
Yeah, their depth.
Yeah.
Their depth is something.
Definitely.
Now to the what is it? The Houston OKC. Oh,
the point guard swap.
The point guard swap, mate, but we're not even going to see it.
Yeah.
What you got any initial thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm devastated. It sounds like Russell Westbrook might not play. I was really looking forward to the idea of...
Like we discussed before.
Even though I did see a meme where it would have been like